17 years old. Got a job with Texaco. Anybody ever work in the oil industry here? Hold your hand if you've been in the oil industry. How many of you know what the terminology offshore work is? How many of y'all ever been offshore? Hold your hand up. Working 6 and 6, 7 and 7, 14 and 7, 10 and 5, 5 and 2. This is all terminology, going out on the rigs. Well, when I was a kid, they paid good money. We'd go out there and work in the summer times and things like that so we could get some extra money. You know, and if you work 3 months, you'd have enough saving money, you could buy a brand new car. Of course, a brand new car then costs $3,200, brand new. Volkswagen, brand new, $1,795. Oh, God. Beautiful car. How many people remember those days? Yeah. How many people's forgot them? Yeah. All right. So I got me a job. I became what you call a cook's helper. They call it in the oil field a flunky. A flunky means you're a cook's helper. You get up at 4:30 and prepare breakfast for the guys that are going on the rigs. Now, you offshore. They fly you out there by chopper. They set you down. You're 140 miles out in the Gulf. And it's nothing to see 15-foot swells. Or if there's a hurricane out there, you get saved. Baptist speaking tongues, Presbyterian speaking tongues. Because when a wave hits that derrick and that derrick goes, whoa. How many men have experienced that? Hold your hand up right there if you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. All right. But I'm a cook's helper because I want to make $2.15 an hour. Big money in those days. Before, they would pay you 90 cents an hour. So you made $2.15 an hour with a major oil company. All right. So I go out there, man, and I work. And I got to meet the tool pusher. The tool pusher is the head man on the rig. In other words, he boss hog. He run the show. Every tool pusher I knew was either bald-headed or fat. Usually kind of a big man. Been in the oil industry. Rough hands, thick hands. He didn't like the way the building that was on we had a drilling platform. It was a big, big platform out there. He didn't like the way it looked. He thought it's dirty. So he said, go get me that flunky and tell that flunky to come in here. I want to talk to him. So the cook comes up to me and says, Jesse, tool pusher want to see you. I said, the tool pusher? That's like, first thing a flunky, a cook, you don't never talk to the tool pusher. Tool pusher talk to the company man, you understand? I mean, the flunky is the last guy on the totem pole. Somebody drops something, you pick it up. You know, you just do it. He said, he want to see you. I said, okay. So I walk in there. I said, I need to talk to the tool pusher. And the radio operator said, what for? What are you doing in here? I said, hey, don't get mad at me, Jack. Tool pusher want to see me. And the tool pusher says, is that flunky out there? I said, yes, sir. He said, come on in here. So I walk in there, boy, and I look around. You see them little red stars, Texaco and drilling rig. He got a desk. My Lord, you peel his tomatoes. He didn't like tomatoes with skin on them, so you had to peel them. You bring it to him, you serve that man. As a head man on that rig, whatever he says, you do. He looks at me and he says, you notice the front of this building's dirty. I want you to clean this building. I said, you want me to clean the building? I said, how am I clean it? He said, we got a fire hose over there. He said, we got a pump. We got a pump that can pump out thousands of feet of casing and tubing. He said, just hook that pump up and wash off this building. I don't like all this junk out here. Get all this oil in called dope. Anybody? Not dope like that. This is grease on threads. He said, I want you to clean that up. I said, yes, sir. He said, if you do a good job, might make you a roustabout. I said, a roustabout? It make $3.20 an hour. I said, I want to be a roustabout. I can get me some money, buy me a car. He said, I said, okay. I said, sir, when I finish with this building, it'll be so clean you can be able to drag your tongue across the front of this building without getting a speck of dust. He looked at me and went, well, I'll tell you one thing. They always choose, I'll tell you one thing here. We'll see about that, young man. So you think you can get that done this afternoon? I said, yes, sir. So I went back to the cook. I said, I ain't peeling potatoes today. I'm going to wash the tool pusher's shack. Or we call it the shack in this building. So I go out there. Now, I am not a mechanical man, but I'm about ready to tap into the source. I'm talking major source here. So I go out there. I look at this pump. I say, let me get, and I'm looking for a water hose. I can't find it. We used to call them a hose pipe. Where's the hose pipe? I said, there ain't no hose pipe. I look over there. I said, well, and I noticed there's different fittings. I looked down there, and the fire hose that he was talking about was it's only about this big. I went and found me a 5-inch fire hose. I took it off the wall. This thing is this big. I looked down there, and I said, it fit this connection. So, man, I cranked that connection up. I think, well, I'll wash the building off. I'll try to do the best I can. I'm about ready to tap into the source. So I go over there, one of these roustabouts come on. He said, what are you doing? I said, I'm going to wash the building off. He said, with that? I said, yeah. He went, I got to see this. I got to see this. I said, listen here, man. I said, Tool Push told me to do it. He said, hey. He said, you want me to help you put that pump on? I said, yeah. He said, okay. And I know what he could think. Look at this idiot. But I'm 17 years old, got one hair on my chest. Boy, I'm ready. Got my hard hat on. I grabbed that hose, got a brass fitting on the end of it. I said, okay, put it on. I was about to become one with that hose. But I didn't know it. I was about ready to break the power of natural law. So the guy starts it. A little water. He runs over. He said, if you want any more pressure, you got to turn that valve. But he didn't turn the valve. So I'm sitting there. I said, no, man. So I walk over to that valve, that pump. He said, this one. I hear that pump go. I said, yeah, that ought to do it. All of a sudden, I see that hose go. And I run and grab the. I grabbed in that hose. And brother, I break all the windows. I knocked the radio operator out of his chair. I am cleaning. Wow. I mean, knocking dirt, mud. Then I hear the pump go, and I can barely hold this pump, this hose. But I know if I turn this thing loose, it'll beat me to death. All of a sudden, this is the pump goes. I see the roustabout's laughing, but he ain't laughing no more. He runs over there, and when he touches the thing, the valve breaks. Boom! I mean, I'm getting hit, but I don't know how much pressure I'm holding. One man cannot hold a 5-inch fire hose. All of a sudden, I'm in the air. Going, help! Help! I mean, enough of this thing to bust my brains out. Got me flipping, flopping. They don't know what to do. Man, this motorman comes running, takes a sledgehammer, starts beating that pump. And I'm going, ah! But people come out and knock him down. He hit that pump and broke it. He was full. And I mean, I must have been 20 feet, picking me up. Bam! I come down, holding on to that. The tool pusher come out. He looks at me. I said, it's clean, Mr. Cochran. It's clean. All the desk, the windows are knocked out. I blew all this. I mean, one man cannot. You ever seen 4 or 5 firemen on a hose like? And you see them doing this? You can imagine a 117-pound boy. But I didn't turn loose of that hose. I knew it would kill me if I would have. I do what you look at me. He said, I'll tell you one thing, it sure is clean, boy. He said, but I'll tell you this, I asked you to clean the outside, not the inside. You know what I'm saying? I said, it broke. I didn't know what to do with it. Then that tool pusher started laughing. Here come the radio operator. He said, I never thought I would drown standing up. I mean, I cleaned that place. I said, what did you do? I tapped into the source. That's a true story, it literally happened. Tapped into the source. You know, I became a friend of that tool pusher. I thought he was going to fire me. That's it. Get your bag, sack, get out, you're gone. He said, well, you did clean it. I said, Mr. Cocker, there ain't a piece of dirt on it. I said, just look at there, Mr. Cocker. He said, yeah, but just there ain't a window in it neither. He said, you almost killed that radio operator. And he grabbed me by the head. He said, I never did like that radio operator anyway. He said, he's too smart for Rich. I said, yes, sir, he is. What he said? I broke the power of natural law. It picked me up, see? And in my next session, I'm going to deal with how to control it. I know exactly where I'm at. See? Because you see, there's enough power stream in God, and some people get nuts with it. They're trying to get people saved, and before you know it, they're blowing everybody out the seats. But if it's controlled, it'll bring great service for people. It'll heal their sick bodies. It'll save their sick souls. It'll get people out the grave. It'll cause people to walk in divine authority. It'll cause people that the blessings of God will come forth to them. And you know what? Sometimes, spiritually speaking, you've got God wet. You just blew water everywhere. God come out the shed and said, whew, it's clean, boy. It's clean. I laid my hand in that machine. I said, devil, turn loose of that wheelie. And the hot dog fell out, bam.
Her bun on the back of her head's a radio antenna, man. She's listening to something she don't know.
That's all I knew was repent. Boy, there's people saying, I'm gonna mail this letter some other time, Jack. I'm out of here.
The devil said, this is it, Jack. You're dying with Vienna sausage in your mouth.
She said, Dennis, a dead man coming up the road and Jesse saw him. He said, well, close the door. I said, Grandma, what y'all doing? She said, we're watching television. I said, I know that, but why y'all dressed up? She said, they can see us.
The Merry Heart Series, 6 DVD set. Order yours today.